Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast. We are back in the dungeon.
A little bit more relaxed.
We figured out the difference between gummy and chewy.
We're just not going to talk about the differences that we threw out to make it that such.
All right, fair enough. Let's jump straight into this shit. Drivers lists are out.
Yes. Whiskey City driver's list. We were going to kind of back off this a little bit, but with the driver's list just coming out this week.
They dropped the bomb. We got to talk about it.
Fucking stupid.
This shit's going to be fun.
Hey, but looky here. Bone stock full size.
I'm on there twicey.
You are on there twicey.
Not both of those are my spot.
But dudes, here's the thing. This is full size bone stock, which we have hit on some of his rules for Whiskey City. It's nothing crazy.
3-day build.
Yep. I still call bullshit on a 3-day build.
Yeah, no shit. If that was the case, mine would already be done.
3-day build, in my opinion, if you're in the shop 10 hours a day, at least for 3 days straight, yeah, you can probably do that.
That's if you don't have to fabricate anything.
Correct. If you have everything ready, bumpers ready, cage ready to put in, that's...
I mean, we have spent an embarrassing number of hours trying to figure out the best way to mount this GM motor in this Mopar.
Y'all heard it here. He is running GM shit in a Mopar for the first time ever.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever done it. It's usually really fucking easy to put my stuff in there because it bolts right the fuck back in.
Mm-hmm. One thing that...
I mean, have you seen, this shit's crazy. The street stock list is wow. Just wow.
Yeah. Let's start with the stock. That's a short list in that 24 cars, I believe. Mm-hmm. Some of the guys on that list are somebody who doesn't usually run really stock.
Right.
Two of them kind of come to mind right there, with Austin Johnson, Jerry Lyerly, Chad Bostic. Usually, his shit might be stock, but it's more our stock stuff where it's a little bit more.
I'm going to try to stay out of his way.
Smart. But then, you've got Mr. Wagon Man himself, Bob Whitaker. Who
do you think he'll be in?
Well, he run both classes last year and didn't have a wagon in both classes. Right. He only had a wagon in one and a sedan in the other one.
See the little father-son collab there?
Yeah, little Chase and Dale Culvert.
Pretty cool.
I did see Dale told him he needs to hurry up and build a shit.
I wish somebody keep telling me. Wait, y'all have been telling me that. I
kind of have been. Well, I told you it had to be finished, completed before the beginning of March.
Right.
So, roughly, you have a month.
We're there, though. I mean, after last weekend...
One full weekend, and it'll be done.
It'll be done. Like, the cage thing, just because of revamping my build style as far as not cutting corners and trying to make shit look decent.
You're welcome.
We worked our ass off on that. And it looked good. I mean, it turned out. I'm happy with it.
Not very many times I've usually have to call somebody tech-wise.
Right.
Most people know, well, everybody knows what you're taking.
Right.
Cage placement is a little different in those.
It's because the body, the door seams and firewall, they're different. I mean...
Correct. It's almost two pieces.
They're same, but different.
Yeah.
And I've been in the promoter's shoes on that part of things. We had a good day that we could have been working on that cage.
Oh, yeah.
But there was going to be a fine line with my dash bar placement of whether it was going to cause a fuckload of work in Peoria or it wasn't.
Correct.
And I wanted a black and white answer on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we stepped back, worked on the front suspension a little bit, got that shit done. This has been an experience from the start, and I get it. Everybody's like, "Well, that fucker, he's building a bone stock car." Well, I'm not a professional fucking builder. I'm not at all. But trying to do this one right, it has
anybody can throw shit together.
Right.
That's one thing, but you're going on a big stage.
Right. And I want to take something that's big stage worthy, hopefully.
Correct.
Because I don't give a fuck the outcome of this. I want to go out there. I want it to run. I don't give a fuck if I get jumped, push up on the wall. I don't care. But I want to know because it's not of me cutting corners.
A building error.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this thing has more Missouri people than I was actually thinking.
100%.
I mean, this isn't a secret. The shit's out on Facebook.
And, you know, kind of local.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you got Justin Meyer.
Yep.
Hannibal.
Yep.
You know, Dale Colbert. You know, he's right down the road as well.
Yep. Dustin Kelsey.
I mean, hell, he's 20 minutes away.
Greg Neal.
You know, he's right there too. Roy Porter.
He's down there in an hour and a half, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we're like neat, you know. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
But Illinois is there too.
Well, you look at the Illinois ones, a lot of them are local.
Yeah, local to us, pretty close.
Like, local to us, but to them.
Well, but like I'm pretty sure that those guys were talking.
Oh yeah.
Like us Missouri guys, we just kind of.
Holy shit! Hey,
what's up, man? Because I called Greg. He's like, I got a fucking spot. I was like, holy shit, cool, me too. You know, Dale called me or messaged me. He's like, hey, did you got into Whiskey City? Didn't you? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, me too. I was like, what class? He's like, stock. I'm fucking A. You know?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's cool to go someplace where you at least have not so much known buddies, but buddies, real buddies.
Well, I mean, you never know what's going to happen on the track, you know, because there's, you know, even with a quarter of the field being from Missouri,
mm-hmm.
well, there's 4 corners on the track.
Oh, yeah.
And it don't take very long to get separated out there.
Yep.
But it is nice to know that, you know, maybe if I'm bumper hung on somebody, you know, I could be like, hey, Greg, hey, Dale, can you maybe get a little,
Oh, I just need a nudge, just a little nudge.
But about the time I'm waving them over there, you know, I could end up with Chad Bostic sitting in my passenger seat.
Yep. Very well.
Because he will be coming from the other end. Or Austin Johnson, you know, because that would be a shot that, you know, that's a money-making shot there.
That's a pretty bitch.
That is a pretty fucking color.
That color, the color is very
unique.
Yes.
What is that, purple?
It's almost like a candy apple blue.
Yeah, what?
Kind of
I ain't never ate a blue apple.
I want to go with like a Bud Light blue.
It's
more purple than that.
So, we're going to stay with the stock. So, now you have one and done, no heats.
Right.
Paying top 5?
I think so.
Mad Dog with some money too, I believe. So, you've got a wide array of driving styles.
Well, I would say my opinion is what you're going to see, because there's a whole lot of names on that list that don't give a shit about a first place.
Zero. Zilch. That won a Wheelman Award or a Mad Dog Award. So there's...
And you know, there's some on there that don't give a fuck about that.
Correct. They just want to go out and full send that bitch.
Get down on it.
Yep.
And they're paying down 3 spots.
3 spots. 2,
yeah, that's right.
2,
8. Yeah.
So here's the thing. In my opinion, you've got drivers such as Dale Colbert, Austin Johnson, Chad Bostic, Jerry Lyerly, Nate Hull.
I snap Nate quite a bit. Like, I've been looking, and dude, they've got some, like, the car he's taking, she's right.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen nothing come out of Chad's shop that's not right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I was talking about Nate Hull. Yeah. I mean,
I never met Nate, but I watched him run over there at PL at the tour. Yeah.
Like I said, all you can see is his head over the window. I mean, that's all you can see.
Yeah.
And it's not that he's that damn short. It's just that he's...
The way he sits in there.
Yeah, the way he's just down in it.
Well, you get that old iron. It don't take much old iron.
I can't remember what was he running. It was old iron, but what was he running?
Maybe Fabian Olds or something like that.
Oh,
Kind of one of them weird years.
Him and Sean Pfeiffer had it out, or was having it out there for a few minutes.
You know, and then we just threw a big fucking wrench in the middle of everything of Whitaker.
Right.
Everybody knows Bob can wheel the shit out of anything that he gets into, whether it's a Spring X, Metal Mayhem, Blizzard Bash. And we'll see Bob anywhere from a stock build to really a mod, or at least a light build. So there's so much different styles of driving and building, I think, is a lot of people will be on the edge of their seat for the entire show.
That's where I plan on being, watching. Right after I get junked out there, I'll be right on the edge of my driver's
He
seat.
sits him at one and done. I think he's talking about to get hit once and he's done.
Let's don't say that.
No, I don't want to do that. Sure, they got more than that on it.
Let's go to your favorite.
Oh, God damn it.
Bone stock compacts. Pretty much like
Yeah.
a little bit more, isn't it?
Right. It is, but that's the basis of where it's safer than a get and go.
You know, you get guys like John Petrosky, Cody Meyer,
Who's Cody Meyer?
Jacob Wood. You know, so you've got some, and then there's so many guys on there that I don't know. Ron Brown, though, you know, I think Ron took home some hardware in a check at Whiskey City last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's going to be, even though it's your favorite little cars, I think it's going to be a hell of a show. You know, you had Bank Don't Care. He put somebody on his lid last year. In reverse, not even in drive. Your bone stock Vans.
Cody Meyer
on there again.
Is that the one your boy has the hard on for? That's the class that he was?
Yep. You got Paul Smith, Zach Frutig.
You ought to see Paul's van. I gotta
Yes.
see it looks good. I mean, for a van.
Dylan Patrick.
Full Send is up in that bitch with his XYZ dude, you know, so them two are going to be glued at the hip. And if I'm going to guess, Cody will be right there with him. So, you know, you're taking 3 or 4 guys. I think Nick Celeste, I think that's a gentleman, part of the Celeste Corps over there in that Illinois side as well. And then one that really gets thrown out to me is the Bone Stock Youth.
I love this class. We've touched on this class a lot.
Youth.
Love it. I do. I know that time is of the essence whenever it comes to these big shows like this. But anytime that there is as much interest in that class as there has been, I feel like it should be opened up. I would be fine if they did away with the class that I was running if there was enough youth guys that wanted to.
Do two.
Yeah, fuck
two
it.
one and dones.
Fuck it. Let them have it.
You know, when you get...
Because the sport doesn't progress without the youth.
No.
And did you see this list? Like,
it's kind of crazy.
I mean, there's a little bit of local around there.
Yep. Zane.
Yep. Austin
Zane.
Pfeiffer.
Yep.
Austin Pfeiffer, he's won one of our shows.
Yes. Yeah. You know, so I think the kid gets it pretty honest. You know, he's been in the sport of demolition derby.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, his entire life.
And then you got CJ.
Yes. Who won last year.
Yep.
And one of your favorites, Old Iron Mopars.
Yes.
And then I think he cashed a couple checks after that.
The boy can drive.
He ain't scared.
No.
And if y'all paid attention last year, he drove that bitch to school.
Maybe I can talk to him before we run. Maybe he can give me some tips.
We've got Mackenzie Hill.
We were over there for that.
Yep.
Which I think there's another Hill running in the bone stock class. I'm not 100% sure on that. I didn't see a name on the list, but
You've got man, you've got a good list of youth drivers. I don't see a Johns on there. You know, TJ and Kayla's daughter ran last year.
Right.
Finished down in the top 3, her first go. But you're gonna have some kids that I think are gonna go pretty hard, pretty wide open.
Whiskey City is going to be a party.
Yeah. Even if it's after, you know.
Right.
Everybody's telling us where we need to go. Corey last week had a real good conversation with us about things that need to happen. But we're not going to repeat a bunch of that stuff.
Something about lasagna or something.
So let's hit one of my favorites.
Power Wheels?
Super Stocks, boys. Super Stock list is super crazy.
Insane. Look at all the Browns on there.
Well, there's other than Alan and Dalen and Cody, you've got Jody Braden, who is no joke. Boys and girls, she is a female, but don't think that she can't wheel the piss out of a derby car against anybody, more or less, if it's a guys or girls. Andrew Carmichael, Eddie Chick himself, Tim Clark, Chris Collins, Mr. Eric Diemel.
See what the names you just named out there. I want to see all that in one heat. I got to start at the top of the list and just start breaking them up.
Yep. Yeah. Something I didn't notice. Did you notice somebody else's name on there? Go right under Taylor Feldkamp.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I knew about that.
He, Mr. Dino, got a spot as well. This thing, I'm telling you guys.
Trey Hammond.
Case Doyle.
I knew about that one.
Yeah, I did too. Who's Case?
I don't know that one dude. He's a Doyle. That's just pretty much self-explanatory on that. You know, we got local guys in here.
Oh, yeah.
Within 30-minute drive time of us. Stephen Hayhurst, Robin Trey Hewer, Case Doyle, Trey Hammond, Eddie, Dino. But here's the thing that really opens my eyes a little bit more. Austin Johnson has got a street stock spot as well. Dustin Johnson, Troy Johnson. I already said Chris Collins.
Right.
There's my homie, Adam Lemonadger.
Yep.
C. Ludd. There's 3 Mowrys.
Yeah.
There's a Pudwitter on there. Austin Samborski, Don Santel, PJ Snar, Phil Schnar, George Turpin's on this list, Bob Whitaker, Micah White, from JM Derby Products right up the road. Boys, this thing,
Loaded.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So we're talking, in my opinion, but your opinions are like assholes, everybody's got one. This has a possibility, in my opinion, to overtake the top derbies in the nation spot. We have always said drivers lists and drivers have a big part in that. The pace of the derby has a big part in that, and the promotion of the derby has a big part in that. You can't have a derby without some drivers, but when you have drivers list of this caliber, this is taking shit, in my opinion, to an entire new level. It's not teams. It's all singles. It's all one and dones with some bad dudes. in every class.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how it can get any better. I really don't. Because they're going to go from here, and then they're going to Pecatonica, which when we had Sam on, that's a little bit different. It will be some one and dones, but the big class, will be heats to run for fat cash. But it's all building up to Gold Rush, which that format has been launched as well. His payouts, how the team aspect is going to work with the qualifying side and the national side. The national side was invitation only. I think we had talked a little bit how we thought maybe that was going to work, and kind of, when Sam stepped away from the Blizzard Bash, he's got teams. He's got guys that know that they're going to put on a show, that they're going to make that 12-hour some haul or however fucking far it is.
My big deal with this list and lineup we've been looking at is whenever they go to draw heats for the street stock, don't make a fuck. It doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter. They're all going to be good.
It's just the intensity level of who's getting ready to drive up your ass,
right,
or knock your front clip off, is going to be justification. I just hope, I really hope it is all that everybody is making it out to be. This thing, man, you can sit there and you can just imagine. Look down from the stands as a spectator, and there's a possibility of 3 Browns on the track with a couple Johnsons, with Corey Luddington, some Maoris. It's, 5 heats of 25? Isn't that
20 or 25, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Sam Williams may have had to went to the city of Peoria to get a special event license to hold each of these heats, because there's going to be fireworks. I mean, these are going to be explosive heats to me.
You're not allowed fireworks in that building.
Guess what? There's going to be.
Well,
those guys are going to put on a fireworks display of.
We have also talked about big money payouts have changed the way a lot of people who we are used to seeing drive. How that big money payout changes that. But you also get those guys that, just like you said a little bit ago, that payout, they're not there for a check. They are there to full send junk whatever they are driving and whatever is in front of them. Shit.
Derek's getting excited.
It'll be fine.
I just went through that and I forgot all about Gary Robinson's on there.
Everybody knows we can't go through there and talk about every one of these guys.
No, there's too many.
But, it's ridiculous. It really is. It's just insane. It's going to be one that you don't want to miss. That's 100%, just...
I wish we had... I know it's something that you don't watch. Super Bowl. You don't watch much football.
I don't get that channel.
You don't get that channel. They have Super Bowl squares.
Right.
Here's the thing. I would love to have 120 square grid with drivers.
Why can't you?
I guess we could.
Make it happen.
Man,
let's do it.
Where somebody can buy squares at X amount of dollars, and then whoever would win each heat, because we couldn't break them down in heats because we don't know the heats yet.
Right.
But there is that possibility of having 25 of the baddest motherfuckers on the track at one time, and you're only 3 qualify, plus your Mad Dog. So there is that. Who's going to go after the Mad Dog?
Why don't we talk about that? We'll talk about doing that after this.
And then they can just hit us up online and buy squares.
And then, it pays back X amount, and we'll donate the rest of it.
Yep. Maybe we can get a hold of, if we can make this happen.
Right.
How about I reach out to Sam, and whatever is left over, we can go to the youth fund.
Yep.
For his next youth derby, whether it's in Pecatonica or South Dakota or wherever it's at. But we can throw that into that fund.
Maybe we could put it on the Mad Dog for the youth or something.
Yep. Yeah, something like that. And I think Sam and Chris and Nicole and all them guys, I think they would be all up for it.
We'll skim through the details on that.
Okay.
We'll get back with you because we're going to have to make that happen quick.
Quick. We've got just over a month.
Stop. I told my wife as soon as I get back from this training bullshit, it's all hands on deck. We're going to finish fucking car because I'm done.
Yep, and just push it in the corner.
Yep.
Let it hibernate for a couple weeks and
let it think about what it's about to do.
Getting ready to stretch its legs. One thing I do while we're all sitting here, the Mad Dog. These lists are so... I keep going back to it. These lists are crazy. All classes. You have known Mad Dogs
everywhere.
Every class.
There's going to be one in every heat.
Yeah. And there's going to be 5 heats of super stocks. But how many you can have multiple Mad Dogs in each one of those heats, what I call driving Mad Dogs, who have that sole purpose of I'm full sending this fucker from one end to the other, and whoever gets in my way.
Off the jump,
Yeah. Who are leaving on 2. That. So how can...
I don't know when I'm going to leave because I can't count.
Most of the time I can have people watch my hands.
Oh, I can't see
but
either.
you can't see that. That is... I think that will really determine the pace of each heat.
You're fucking ain't right, it will. That's 100% true statement. Because if you've got 5 of those Mad Dog drivers in quotations in one heat, and every one of them shits leave on 3, what do you think the rest of that heat's going to be like?
They better leave on 3. If not, they're fucking getting somebody parked into the tank protectors.
Yeah. Because you're going to fucking straight up get down on it from the word go.
Yeah. We have Filthy Promotions most of the time did Mad Dog stuff.
What's that?
Well, it's a retired promotion company.
Were they around like 3 years ago or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Never heard of it.
But how we did the Mad Dogs is all the judges put their opinion in. Majority won. Here's my deal with this thing. There's a possibility you can have 10 fucking guys going after the same spot. That is pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could have went after it. Cy could have went after it. Austin Johnson could have went after it. Phil and PJ Snar could have went after it. And Dalen and Cody and Alan Brown.
Right.
And you're all in the same heat.
Oh, shit, no. I'm done.
There is that possibility of how do I decide who gets to go to one of the biggest shows in the country in November from my show.
Yeah, because that's not something you can computer generate.
Oh, no. This ain't drawn in a hat.
No.
This not picking the right number. This isn't a call out for a team setting.
No, this is pure human decision.
Discrepancy.
Yeah.
Choice. And it could be error. So
You mean people fuck up? What?
Sometimes.
Nope, never heard of it.
So I wouldn't want to be that person to be sitting there having to try to figure out. The first 3 spots are going to take care of themselves.
Most of the time.
Keeping my mouth shut. You baited me into that shit, didn't you? The first 3 spots should take care of themselves. So that means 5 Mad Dogs for 5 heats to get their spot in Gold Rush. When there could be 50 guys going for 5 spots just for the Mad Dog alone. That's hard to think about when you're looking at it on paper.
that's not only hard to think about when you're looking at it on paper. Wait until those people that are picking Mad Dog are sitting there having to deal with that. Like, they got to make that fucking decision.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it shouldn't be that one person deciding a Mad Dog.
It's not just one person.
I don't think it's going to be that one person.
Let the crowd decide. Text it in. Who they think.
But there's that
American Idol style.
You could have like a people's choice of, you know, if they pulled your Mad Dogs that they chose, and then you could have people's choice of out of those of who they thought or something.
And that would all have to be like live and right then and
right
there.
Yeah, because they want that shit announced right there.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Not wait 2 fucking weeks. It's got to happen. And I don't think I would want that type of pressure on me to justify who is going to South Dakota. Because how do you figure it out?
Oh, now you're just being a pussy.
Don't even talk to you like that, Derek.
Well, it's not pussy. It's respect. I mean, just for the simple fact, I know there's 5 dudes out there who are no fucking joke, who let it eat from the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, but what if one of them called your mom a whore?
Is she? I watch Roadhouse, bitch. How do you justify that? Really? So
well, hold on now. I am going to back up on this. Trying to go through the whole justification of this. Oh, that Mad Dog has been known for years. There's no set standard to how you win that.
Correct.
That's why there will be multiple people judging that Mad Dog, I assume. I don't know that. But a little bit of that is the fun of the Mad Dog choice is what your definition of a Mad Dog was, what his definition of a Mad Dog was. I kind of like that it is a personal opinion because there might be a nasty fucking shot that's made that I'm like, that was cool, that caused a shitload of damage. But then you've got PJ Snar that drives plumb up on the fucking roof sign. Didn't hurt that other car, but looked cool as fuck. Like the cool factor was there.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, the guy that broke the dude's tranny in one shot, but it didn't really fuck the car up. PJ's hit was way cooler that didn't tear anything up but the guy's roof sign.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that was more of a Mad Dog hit because he did not give a fuck where he landed.
Yeah.
He was in full preparation to turn the fucking car over off the top of the other car. And that is, to me, is more Mad Dog worthy than somebody that went out there and made a damaging shot. I get it was driving skill, but that Mad Dog's not really about the whole, you're a good wheel man. No, it's about somebody that's going out there and just getting fucking ignorant, not giving a shit of the outcome of it.
I mean, you've witnessed me. I get thrown into that shit a lot. The local stuff. Hey, man, let's vote for Mad Dog. There's you and 2 other guys. It's got to be a majority of vote. And I'll get one guy that says, man, that so-and-so, he laid that one good shot. Well, that's all he did. He laid it one good shot a minute into the Derby, broke his shit, and then, but you're not talking about this one guy who laid 6 or 7 shots and lasted
Dakota
3.
Kissinger,
Yes,
did not care.
Who lasted 3 times longer.
Right. And was keeping that pace.
Yes.
Not caring, pinballing. Mad Dog driving.
Yes.
I'll give you my opinion of what I think of Mad
Nobody
Dog
cares
is.
about that.
To me, like what you all brought me in for was the safety side of things. To me,
Right, you should have zero opinion on the Mad Dog then. If you're about safety.
No. It's somebody that pushes like those points, those safety points,
Right.
to the extreme, like to where you're just to the point of, dude, I can't even call nothing on that because it's so close, but yet you're after laying it out.
That's what I'm saying. The driving style, that Mad Dog driving style. Like whenever Austin was in that metric wagon, he did not give a fuck what he hit on the other end of the track. He just wanted something down there to run into.
As long as there was a fucking car down there.
He knew it was going to junk his own shit. If he took a couple people out on the way, that was great. If it didn't, he did not give a fuck.
Yep.
That's Mad Dog driving.
Yep.
Whenever him and Dino met in Shelbina, that shit was Mad Dog driving. Yes, decently placed shots. They did not give a fuck, though.
Yep. They knew.
I think Dino more so cared where he landed, because he turned into it.
Mm-hmm.
to grab the nose to nose. Austin was just headed that way.
Yeah.
You know, if Dino could have fucking pulled a Houdini and slid out of his way, Austin would have went out the gate.
He would have took fucking flight.
Yeah, he would have been outside.
Yeah.
But he didn't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. That mad dog driving style. So I think there's way more to it than, and I kind of like the public opinion being, I like an opinion being the deciding factor on that.
Yeah. Just like what you talked about, somebody's opinion of a mad dog. Is it, if you've got 6 guys on a dirt, most of them have been drivers. They know.
Right.
When you get Chris and Cordell and Sam and whoever else that they have, all those guys have been in cars. Cordell, I promise you, has gotten mad dogs.
Right.
Chris has gotten mad dogs. Their opinion of a mad dog can be different
than mine.
Than the 5 people, the other people that are judging it.
Yeah, And that's what I was trying to get at whenever I said there's no set standard for what a mad dog is. Like, you cannot textbook go get a mad dog.
No.
Like, I can, if I do this, this, and this, that'll ensure me a mad dog win. Not how it works.
I mean, I'm sure there's an Illinois dictionary of some sort. When you look at mad dog, there's a picture of Austin Johnson.
Into him, like they're born. Oh, Illinois, he's going to be a derby driver. He'll be balls out.
Yeah.
That's fine. But no, that 100%, I love it that it is at the decision and discretion of human beings. I love it. Yeah.
And I could be looking way too much into this. There can be those guys who we know are the mad dogs that are rather have that fat check.
I doubt it. Not on a big stage setting like that. I ain't fuck. If they're bringing a $2,500 car to a class with 24 people in it with a chance to win $2,000, I don't give a fuck about that check. Not even a little bit. They put zero thought into winning that derby.
But that $5,000 check.
Yeah.
You don't think will change? No?
No, I would say, what better of a stage? If they're doing this shit at a county fair and they're junking $1,700, $1,800 cars at the county fairs to get a $300 mad dog and a piece of metal that Zane T. Chick welded together, you don't think they're going to do that shit on the big stage where it's televised?
Okay, here's the thought. You're out there, you draw heat. You've got these dudes in here that are just wide fucking open, pinballing. They're going to pinball.
You go hide behind somebody else.
But you're one of them. You'll go after a mad dog too. You know what I'm saying? So as a driver, do you look at your heat? Does that change your driving style? In
my opinion, I guess that depends on how much of a mad dog driver you are. Because if that's the case, then if you said there's 6 of them in there that are pinballs, I guess there's 7 now. If you're a mad dog driver.
Mm-hmm.
If not, you're going to back off, stay out of their fucking way, and hopefully they tear their shit up.
Yeah. Man, that's, 100. Because when you look at the super stock list of 120 drivers.
I wish they just put them all on track at once. Give them a football field and let them take flight.
Somebody would die. Somebody would grab 5th and be running mock a fucking million and take a firewall shot. That's just how it would happen. It'd be cool as shit to watch. It would break the internet, don't get me wrong. I think when you talk about...
I'm telling you now, after I've seen the drivers list released, I don't know what I'm more excited about. I don't know if I'm more excited about driving out there or watching that super stock shit. I'm not joking. Like, that shit's going to be good.
And that's going to be on 2 days because it's going to be separated. It's going to be a couple heats on Friday and then the rest of the heats on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. You've got 120 dudes that 90% of them are no fucking joke.
Right.
How many of those 120 are going to get through tech? How many of those 120 are willing to bend what they have brought
right.
to make it through the tech or as Corey spoke last episode, where he beat him on a rule, well, they caught him back on another rule.
Right.
And like Corey said, that he thought was this not the right way to change that. How many people are going to be doing the exact same thing? Where Corey went out with a car that we've all seen Corey Luddington drive and build, and especially with us a caddy. Yes, we did say that Corey took a car he doesn't normally build. Right. It was a little bit older caddy. But haven't you always said a Cadillac is a Cadillac?
Yeah.
So Corey did what he thought was correct until he got through the tech. And then he did tell us.
He went into some more detail on that. I mean, he was thinking. He was really thinking.
Mm-hmm. So how many guys are going to weaken their car to get through tech?
Well, again, it's the big show. I hope they do it. That's what I want to see.
You're worried about tech. You think people will be cheating? Do they do that?
Sometimes. How many times have we talked off air, on air?
7.
Every car.
That's specific.
Every car that builds to the upper end of that build scale is cheated. We know that. Somehow, whether it's just a little extra weld, whether there's something in there always. Whether it's minute that ain't really going to make a fuck. It's still cheated. But it's one of those.
But I've seen shit on the bottom end of the rule builders that are fucking cheated too.
Come
They're just a lot easier to catch.
Yes. Just like Corey was speaking, weld burn marks on the inside of frame rails. That type of shit. Who is going to be looking at your stuff? Knowing that he's probably going to catch you.
Right.
And then are you willing to fix it?
That's why we've talked in the shop whenever we were building this car, the last one I run, whatever. And I'm going, man, I think we can do this. And you're like, God damn it. If we can't fix it there, you know the alternative, right? The motherfucker goes back on the trailer and you're sitting in the stands.
Yep.
And you've really reeled me in on some of that shit because there was just some stuff that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't think I'll get caught. And you're like, well, you might not, but you might. And if you do, we're fucked.
Yeah, there's always that might factor. And
so I just kept welding.
Well, there's got to be strategy in it,
You
too.
can't weld.
Kind of like me, I can tack. I can't. I'm not a welder.
Good thing we've got a good editor because he should edit that out before I fix it.
We're going to leave that bitch full tilt.
I can weld. I've done it several times.
Several times. But it really helps where the car is getting built at because that dude loves to fucking weld.
Oh, he does.
And he's kind of a little feller, so he can just jump right in with.
We were putting that fucking cage in there. And I'm like, you want me to tack that? He's like, no, standing on his head. He was like upside down. I'm like, do you need me to measure that? And he's like, no, it was fucking clip. I'm like, holy shit, dude. I was like, well, why don't you just put the fucking cage in it? I'm going to sit over here and drink beer. He's like, no, motherfucker, I'm gonna
Better yet.
And then he said something about 3 porta powers. I don't know.
Better yet, your steering column, of course, was still in there so we could steer the carbon, laying down flat.
Mm-hmm.
He's sitting on the steering wheel.
Fuck, he weighs 135 pounds. It's not like he's going to break it.
From the roof of this thing. Like
Nobody can see that. They don't know how far it was.
At least 76 inches.
That is...
You should have seen it. Hold on. We put a cage in there, and I don't have my seat yet. I still got to get crown big. So we were trying to get my pedals in there, and situated. And I'm like, man, I can't sit on the floor. I need to be up kind of where we put the back seat bar and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a 5-gallon bucket in this fucking car. Sitting on it trying to get my pedals where they need to be.
If y'all could see my fucking face right now, I don't know if it's embarrassment or disgust.
Well,
5-gallon bucket.
That's all.
You're like 6'4", and you're going to put a 5. You got your head under the fucking roof?
Yeah, it was bad. That's what I was getting at. So, because Mike is sitting in there, and he's like, well, this right here is where I would have to be. Like, he's sitting there. And I'm like, okay, let me crawl in there real quick. We'll chat. And I'm like, fucking my shoulder was touching the top of the car. I'm like, this. He's like, just put your fucking legs in front of me here and let's get the pedals right.
It went from looking like a very young youth driver sitting there to a full-blown, like, grown human.
But that's the shit that nobody gets to see. You know, that's the behind-the-scenes funny shit that you do. You know, whatever you really
Correct.
Like.
Yeah.
But, you know, all we got the fucking pedals now. Where they need to be. I did know we are going to have to take my couch apart because where my seat's at, my fucking head is... No, laying on the pillar. I mean, my fucking head is it's right there. I'm going to have to look through the
I was questioning that the other night, and I was like, man, isn't your head going to be right about at that pillar?
Where I wanted to put my pedals, it wouldn't have been an issue, but I was afraid that somebody was not going to like it. So we put them where they needed to be.
Yeah. You know, that, just the preparation of building a car, I think who your techs are changes stuff.
100%. Like, this is the first time I've ever actually run a pedal setup. Like, I have my individual pedals. You know, this is full-blown SMS, like, good fucking pedal setup. And it was so much different mounting them in there, you know, because, I mean, there was actually, you know, like, I had to figure out where to put this fucking monstrosity.
It's a big bitch.
It is. But it fits my fat fucking feet.
Correct. Yeah.
Because him putting that master cylinder on the side
instead of the center,
that gave me my leg room. Because that other one, you know, that I've got, it's right behind the fucking pedal, and my knee is touching the steering wheel. It's just crazy how much more comfy and how much more room I've got in this car after we've actually not just thrown the fucking thing together.
Yeah. Like
we've fitted the car to me. I don't feel like I'm putting a jacket on and having to zip the fucking car up, you know.
When we talked to Austin, he got into a car
that was not set up for him.
Set up for Colt Doyle. And I promise you guys, if you don't know either of them two, there's a huge height difference.
About 6 inches.
And a huge leg length difference. So Colt had the car set up for him. Well, Austin put that lap belt on, tried to chuck his guts out his asshole.
Right.
You know, so, but in that same instance, Micah's car that is sitting there at J&M Derby Products, you couldn't even get in it.
He moved the seat behind.
Well, I don't think it's the distance of the seat, it's the narrowness of the seat.
Well, yeah, he's got a little bitty.
Hell, he's got a 14 or 15 inch seat. You know, a race seat.
That wouldn't fit one of my fucking legs.
So, you know, there's that difference of people think, well, I'll just get in there. Well, even though all the stupid shit that is done for a derby car or a derby track, there's still some safety that is implemented into building one. You are going to have to, what you just said, you're going to have to get some cushion.
Right.
And a lot of duct tape.
Just to make sure. I don't want to go to sleep first shot.
No, and you very well could be. I mean, you very well could. Yeah.
Done it.
Yeah.
I don't want to start. I don't want to finish my weekend off like that. Because the rest of the fucking night,
headache.
I'm okay with that.
Is one thing from too much beer.
Yeah,
but getting knocked smooth the fuck out.
Like it would ruin the rest of my fucking.
Yeah, that's when you just want to go to the hotel and just go sleep. And then everybody's checking on you, make sure you're not going to sleep in case you are concussed.
He's fine.
Is he breathing? Yeah, fuck it. He's good. I'm ready.
I'm getting closer.
It's bad as just over a month.
I told you about that last time. Dustin's like, fuck, that thing's fucking, we're 60 days from that. And I'm like, oh. You know, here he is thinking it's forever from go time, and I'm like,
no, it's not.
It gives me like 15 days to work my car.
Yes, we have talked about that with other drivers. Man, we got 60 days.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. Not when you can really only work on it during the weekends,
right? Or
something like that. That really changes the aspect.
Which I've talked to you and talked to a couple other people that are going to help me. You know, that have been around some of that shit more so than I have. That said they'd spare a couple weekends or a couple evenings during the week.
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours here, there.
Just as long as you don't have much more of this training bullshit that you got to do. Because that just throwed a wrench in the entire week.
Yeah.
Right in it.
Yep. Which is okay. I'm still waiting on my motor anyway. So that, like, I mean, I want to get the inside of the car finished up.
And it's a GM motor. I'm going to repeat that just like little Chody did.
I didn't hear you.
It's a GM motor. But here's the thing. You have talked. We talked to Micah on the... You don't have to try to find a Mopar lower cradle. Right now. I'm not saying if you yard sale this fucker that...
Well, it's just like any stupid shit that I do all the time. Every once in a while.
No. I'll agree with the first statement.
So, you know me. If I buy one of something, I want multiples.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I now own 3 small block Chevy motors.
That didn't take long. But they're good. I mean, well, it's GM. You know, if you find a good 010 block, well, you can do a lot of shit to them.
The last one that I bought, I think that it's going to go in the car, come out of an RV, low mileage motor, got a 400 behind it, motor purrs like a kitten, good motor.
And this is a stock build.
Right, well, yeah.
Well, you know, we've talked about that.
Yeah, but I bought heads and intake.
Correct. You want to liven it up a little bit, but there's that same aspect of, you know, there's going to be guys in that stock class with 450, 500 horse.
Right, yeah.
They're going to be going really fast.
It won't be me.
It won't be me. You know, so that's the deciding factor. You can junk your shit by having too much motor and 3 hits. Or you get the old sewing machine that purrs like a kitten, 250, 300 horse, nothing stupid, not going to build a bunch of heat. You don't have to run it on methanol. And you can just go out there and do your deal. But I will tell you, from your experience, those don't hold heat like a 318 does.
Right.
So when you lose that radiator the second hit, like you did at Blizzard Bash, it's not going to be so chipper at the end where it runs better.
Well, I think I've already come to the conclusion that if I do lose that radiator, I'm going to try to lose the car before I do the motor.
Smart choice.
Yeah, because I have talked to several people, you know. I mean, and we talked like that, like a fucking Mopar is the holy grail, you know, and I preach that bullshit.
No, but that's all you've had.
Just because, you know, they do hold heat. I watched Eddie Chick in Madison run a long fucking time. Headers glowing red. Like about to fold over. They were so fucking hot.
Yeah.
And that motor was still running. I watched Tyler Baker one time. The fucking car was dieseling, is what I call it. It wouldn't shut off.
Nope.
I mean, I've watched him suck all the fucking oil, run off the oil.
Yep. It just,
you know, when it was sucking the fucking oil out of the crankcase.
But usually when they do that, they're hurt.
Yeah, in a Mopar, usually you can let them set for a while. And I mean, this is no bullshit. You get a Mopar that hot, shut it off. Let it set overnight, and you can usually go back out there and the motherfucker will start again.
Fire it up, yeah. Yeah, when they start doing the chirping,
oh yeah,
that's bad.
Or you start seeing pieces of valve.
Valve and bearings and you name it. It tried to weld itself together. That's just.
I'm anxious to try the small block Chevy though. I am.
I'm anxious for you to actually have a good transmission.
Right.
Because even though I do dog on you for Mopar shit, 318s.
Well,
I promise you have won a shit load of derbies. Because of what they are. They do hold heat. They do run without water. They're not super, high horsepower. They don't got a shitload of compression behind them. But where your 318 wouldn't die, that piece of shit transmission that was sitting right next to you are garbage.
Yeah. Because, like I said, we've seen it. Whenever I pulled into that feature in Salisbury, I was pulling up to the line, and the bottom of the radiator blew out of it. My wife was like, "What are you gonna do?" I was like, "Pull it on the fucking track."
Yep.
Which, coincidentally enough, I didn't run long enough to
Get it
push
hot.
the motor because I got stuck on a Cadillac. That's another story.
That'll do it. That happens on them bigger jobs.
He was like, "Just push me backwards." I was like, okay, yeah. Yeah, my 300-pound car is going to push your fucking 9,000 pound.
You'd have a better chance you getting out, pushing it off there. Yeah.
100%.
But man, this thing is going to be.
It's going to be good.
And I think here is going to be some curveballs because a lot of guys are actually signed up and they know there's going to be, they know there's driver changes. They know that. And I think it's in all classes because I think Chad Hurd gave his spot to somebody else because Chad wasn't going to be able to make it.
Right.
Something came up. How many of them is there? You've got, we just kind of talked, another spot got filled. We're not going to put any names. Another spot got filled in the stock class because somebody else, ended up not needing that spot or didn't have the time to get a second car built. There's always that option. So you've always said just build it and bring it and cut what you want.
Right.
But
this isn't the show for that.
No, zero zilch. So, but how many of them are going to be like that?
Well, I mean, your good builders will be like that.
That's got a car already built, sitting in the garage, ready to go for a street stock,
Right.
super stock build that planned on taking it somewhere else. But they're like, oh shit, I just got a spot at Whiskey City. Fuck it, I'm going there.
Right.
I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait to go to Spring X. I'm not going to wait to go South Dakota.
Right.
There's always that chance. There is big things on the horizon all summer long, and we have talked about this, that we are going to be talking about big shit all summer. We have a little bit of change of plans for today.
Yeah, because we're going to touch on Redneck.
Yep.
Next week.
Yep. I did watch it.
I haven't got a chance.
You weren't available, but we're gonna try to get the man himself on to talk about the Redneck Rumble, about the Wicked Team Show, and then the rest of his stuff for the summer.
So this was kind of a curveball episode. I know you all are sick of hearing us talk about Whiskey City, but
when they put a driver's list out like that,
you got to talk about it.
Yes, that's paparazzi.
Yeah,
edited shit. Yes. So get to building, guys. Holy shit!
I think he's talking to me.
Man,
You got a loss for words.
I kind of am. I'm excited, and I've been to big shit. You've been to big shit. I've watched it. I watched it on TV. I watched it live in person. But I'm telling you, this show right here almost is goosebump worthy.
Yeah.
Well,
last year broke the mold.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about it before. Whenever you try something new like that, sometimes you got more drivers sitting in the bleachers than you do coming to the track. And now that they know it worked, it was legit.
Because how many guys signed up last year that didn't come?
Right.
Because they wanted the spot, they wanted to make sure, but they had some other stuff going on with the Wicked Team Show.
Yep.
Roughly about that same time, just like Don Santel. Don always runs that Wicked Team Show.
Right.
Guess where Don signed up to run this year?
Right. Well, people like to try new shit.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's a good stopping point.
We got some other stuff in the works. Guys, hit up the Facebook page. The 4-in-1 Badass Koozies we have stocked for the merch. Still waiting on the shirt place to get us our shirts. We're going to get that stuff lined out, have it made. So majority of the sizes. She's probably going to slap the fuck out of me. She's going to try to have most of that stuff made. So as soon as you place the order
We can put
through
it in a box and
PayPal,
send that shit out.
send that shit right out in a box. So we've got some other big stuff in the works.
Yep.
You've been on the phone this week. We're not going to give out any extras quite yet
Right.
until everything is 100% verified. But I think I'm kind of, if you're cool with it, I think we'll take maybe a trip to Nebraska this summer.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yep. I've been talking to that dude a lot.
Cool. Any last words?
That's it.
Make jump, boys.